Another day. My iPod like totally died on me, so I got no music to listen to. Yes, I still use an iPod. Hope everybody's day is going good. Hope everybody is, chilling, enjoying the weather. It's raining here where I'm at. So, but sitting there driving, out and about. And I was just thinking to myself, I was just coming up with like scenarios in my head. I think a lot. Like I said, certain things come to me, and I think about people and. And I'm not immune to this. I've done it as well. I think about people that have come to you and be like, but what about that one time I helped you out here? But what about that time that I did this for you? What about this time that I did that for you? And it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's what's up. I appreciate it. But how about the other 90% of the times where you treated me like crap? Where you acted like a jackass toward me? When you made me feel this big? So what the one time you brought me flowers? What about the other 100 times we interacted and you kicked me in my face? See, I don't know. I was just like randomly just thinking about things, and I was just like, man, you know how many people really sit back and they get upset when you decide to walk away and let them be? Because they remember, the one time that they bought you a Big Mac or whatever. They got you a Happy Meal. I don't know. Whatever you want to use as an example. But how about the other times where you came in and you knew I was there and you ain't bring me nothing? You ain't bring nothing to the table. You just hooked yourself up. And I was laughing as I thought about it, because I was like, a lot of people is like that. Hell, there was a time where I can honestly say that I was like that. Emotionally, I was a pretty hard person, when it came to certain people I dated and things like that. And there were times where I would just be like, well, I remember one particular relationship, they broke up with me, and I'm like, but I've been this and I've been that, and they just said they just didn't want to be with me anymore. And as as a younger man, I let it affect me in ways and stuff like that. But as I've gotten older, and I go back and I think about things and wonder, about certain behaviors I did that attribute to some people being damaged and stuff like that. These are things that cross my mind. I don't necessarily let it get to me and stuff like that, but I go back and I think about these things. And it was one of those particular times I just went back and I thought about it, and I said, I can get it. It just one day it's just gonna light bulb. You're gonna be like, I get it. I understand why that particular person stopped dealing with me. How many people do that? How many of you really sit back, really take the time to sit back and say, yo, you know what? I really did treat this person like shit. Lord, forgive me. I really treated this person like crap. I get why they didn't want to deal with me no more. I get why they walked away. I get why they cut me off. But no, most of us is, remember that one time I did that for them? You see? They want to get mad at me, but that one time that I did this, that 2 times that I did this, remember that one time? Or matter of fact, we equate it, we want to say, when you do something really, really good, like when you do a big something, like you buy a person a house. Say in that situation, you buy a person a house, you get a person a car. Cool, that's awesome. The person is grateful and all that type of stuff. But then you turn around and start treating the person like friggin' like Ramsey and Sansa or something. You know, that's a little extreme. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, you treat the person like crap the other 90% of the time. But, you know, you bought them a car. You bought them a house. You hooked them up with something. You know. It's like, yo, check it. I mean, I'm not saying people is perfect or anything like that, but you gotta, do you really not see that, you know? Do people really not see that? Do people really not understand, hey, they stopped talking to me because, you know what, I'm a little hard to deal with. And it's fascinating to me because I be like, I really don't think people do that. I don't think people take the time to sit back and say, yo, I think they look at the good that they've done and that overshadows the other crap that they do. And that kind of camouflages everything else they do. And it's like, I like talking in parables. I like talking like with examples and stuff like that. And to me, like, it's funny because as I was thinking about all of this, all I could think about was, say you grabbed a dish, right? Say you, simple. Say you got some chicken. Say you're eating the chicken. You love the chicken. But every time you get chicken, which you love, the thighs are always good. The thighs are always cooked and seasoned well. Those are always good. Every now and again, maybe they'll be a little undercooked. But the rest of the bird always tastes bland, always tastes nasty, is cold, whatever. After a while, you gonna get tired of that, man. You gonna keep eating chicken, you gonna keep dealing with the chicken. I don't care if one part of it, if 30% of it was cooked perfectly. You went to a restaurant, 30% of it was cooked perfectly. You're not gonna say, oh, you know, this part of it was good, but the rest of it, you're not gonna be like, oh, it was really good, you know, 30% of it was good, but it was really good. And the rest was, you're not gonna say that. You're gonna say, no, it was nasty. It was nasty. I took one bite, it was cool. I took another bite, it was nasty. It wasn't, you know, there was no consistency there. Consistency. You want to treat a person good one moment and be a jackass another moment. Maybe treat them good a year later, you know, a couple months later down the line, whatever. People get tired of that, man. People get tired of being, you know, what's that, tug of war, you know, back and forth, back and forth. Don't know if you're going to treat them right. Don't know if you're going to be right, do right. And then when they get to the point where they're like, no, this person, this is just who they are, and this is just what they're about, and they're ready to leave, and they're ready to dip, then you want to do something extravagant to try to reel them back in. And it's like, it's not cool, man. If you're not going to be consistent with people, if you know you can't be consistent with people, let people live their lives, man. Like, don't sit there and try to hold them emotionally hostage. That's that one right there. Whew. That is one lovely game that people play, man. Will hold a person hostage emotionally, take advantage of their feelings and their emotions for them. Treat them like crap 90% of the time. And when they see the person's getting ready to, they see the person's pulling away, we all get that feeling. You get it. We're interesting beings, you know. It's not, you don't always have to see, you can feel it. You can feel when a person's pulling away. There's nothing wrong with that. You can feel when they're pulling away. And if you're the type of person where it's like, oh no, that's mine, you know, no, they're mine, she's mine, he's mine. I don't care if I am treating them like dirt, they're mine. Then you want to go and cook up a big meal, sex them right, buy them a diamond, Take them to the game. Buy them a house. Get them a car. Do something big. Let them take their mind off of all the bad that's been going on for a little bit. Then go back and treat them like crap. What can I say, man? I wouldn't be able to speak on this if I didn't feel like I've been through it on both ends of the spectrum, you know, as far as me being on the receiving end and the giving end. And, you know, that's just me being honest and saying, hey, you know, there are times that I just wasn't a good friend, wasn't a good boyfriend. I made mistakes. I've done wrong. I didn't apologize. I let things end and whatever, didn't care. And as I'm getting older, man, you just go back and think about these things, man, and I look at the people that's around me now and I be like, whew, boy, if they had met me 10 years ago, whew, probably wouldn't be talking to them right now. It's all growth, though. You know, it's all growth and, you know, being accountable. Kind of stemmed from the little post I just made, you know, the accountability thing and all that. But, you know, it's all about being accountable and being consistent, you know. Let's take like the boyfriend girlfriend aspect out of it. Let's just talk about being friends, you know, being friends. You can't sit there and treat your friends like crap, you know, and then, you know, the 1 or 2 times you do come through for them, think that negates all the other times that you treated them like crap, you know. Talk about the other aspect of things. How about when you're really good to a person and the 1 or 2 times you do make the mistake and they throw you and then you sit there, you argue like, what the heck, man, I messed up, I was angry today, I had a bad day, this is that. That's a whole other topic though. Like, I think a relationship and a friendship has to have a foundation that can weather those times where it's like, you know, 1 or 2 times something, you know, you'll have a situation happen and, you know, a person will wave bye-bye when it's like, damn, I mean, yeah, I did cuss you out. I mean, like, I did cuss you out, but damn, I was having a bad day. You know, it happens. But, you know, either way, I'm not talking about it from that perspective. I'm talking about it from another perspective. But, you know, accountability, people. It's simple. It's always the same. It's always the same things, man. Just being accountable and treating people right, man. Dealing with the consequences or not. What else are you gonna say? What else are you gonna do? I don't know. What do I know, right? Hope everybody's being safe. Please be safe. All this stuff going on. Get out, do what you got to do for your community, wherever you can. Time is coming to vote. Vote. Show love where you can show love. Help where you can help. Let's keep it moving. All right? Later. I think I stopped the video a little too early. You know, I think I have like a little bit more things to say in the grand scheme of things. Because as I got off the video after part 1, I'm gonna just upload them different days or whatever, like do part 1 and then do part 2, whatever. But as I kept thinking about it, I was like, all right, so we looking at it from that aspect of things. What about those that choose to walk away from a person where, I mean, you can do, say a person treats you good, treats you fair 90% of the time. Let's look at it from the other perspective. 80% of the time, 90% of the time, that person treats you fair. That person's a good boyfriend, girlfriend. I've never been married, so I'm not even going to like get into the marriage aspect, wife, husband type stuff. But I've been people's boyfriend. Stupid. I've been people's boyfriends, and I've been people's friends. You know, so say the person as your friend treats you good, majority of the time. Then they do that one thing, and you know, yeah, people will argue that like, yo, like, but I've done all these things for you, and I've looked out for you. I you know, I lost my temper here, or I this and that. I get that, because honestly, I've been on that aspect of things. Like, I'll lose a temper. I'll lose my temper, and like, you know, person don't want to deal with me no more. It is what it is, you know. Or, you know, I have a razor sharp tongue at times, and you know, they but or you know, just human to make a mistake, you know. Not belittling the person or making them seem like they're wrong and choosing themselves, because I don't know what that person had to deal with in the past to where they feel the need to say, yo, if something, no matter what I think the severity of it is, if they feel like it's something that they're not willing to let go of, forgive, put up with, whatever, you know. And a person can forgive and still deal with you, but you know, a person can also forgive and not deal with you no more, you know. So it's not up to me or you or whoever else to sit there and tell a person what they can and can't do, or should and should not do, if it's something that sits away with them. Do I feel like some people take it overboard? Absolutely. You know, maybe a situation or two I go back and think about, maybe I cut that person off a little too quick. Is what it is. You know, that goes into, you know, the foundation of your friendship and all that type of stuff, and maybe it wasn't as strong as you thought it was, you know. But that's the thing too, man. It's sometimes, you know, things is just, it all really boils down to, you know, what you're willing to deal with, what you're willing to put up with at the root of it all, you know. Because a person can treat you great a bunch of the times, and then that, I mean great, and I'm not even trying to like over exaggerate, I mean they treat you good, and that one time they do something and you're just done. You know, it depends on the severity of what that thing is, I think, because I totally get when I hear particular situations of a person being with somebody and that person lost their temper and smacked them, and for, you know, whatever reason. Not saying there's a right reason, not saying there's a wrong reason, you know. Every situation is different. I don't look at everything, I don't think one equation goes with everything, you know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't. Every situation is different. Again, not choosing a side on this. What I'm simply saying is, I understand why a person can walk away from a situation that seemed great, that seemed awesome, and when you hear the story and somebody says, nah man, it was just that one time they lost it, and I just was like, nah, I can't deal with that, you know. I just can't. And it could be for whatever reason, whether or not it's from something from the past, like I stated before, or honestly and truly, they just know that's just something they not gonna put up with. Same thing with like cheating and all of that type of stuff. I know people that made the choice to cheat and thought that, you know, whoever they was with was gonna forgive them or whatever, and that person was like, nah, deuce. They're just not gonna put up with it, you know. So I think it's a lot, but I think it's not, because I think if you just sit down and you take situations that you've been through and you try to calculate these things, you can understand where a person is coming from. You don't have to agree. God, I love that. Like, I think I'm like notorious for that. I'll listen to you. If I don't agree with you, I'm just like, okay. But that's my video up. Had somebody call me. Again, accountability. Whether you're on the spectrum where it's this much good, this bad, or this much bad, this good. Whether you're on your receiving end of it whether you're on the giving end of it. I believe that we should all take the time out to reflect, you know. I'm not saying go back and, you know, necessarily relive like truly traumatizing things if you've been through them already. But I'm saying though, that relationship that you had, that friendship that you had that fell apart, you know, really sit back and try to be objective about it, you know, and really try to sit back and look at things and say, could I have handled it better?